Meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals, this September 26th. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted in person and as a courtesy via remote means in accord with applicable law. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public and board members, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless required by law. This meeting will be recorded by the local scene, formerly known as PAC TV. Members of the public who wish to watch the meeting can do so by viewing Duxbury Government Access Channel, Verizon 39 or Comcast 9. Viewers can visit thelocalscene.media/Duxbury for information about Duxbury programming, including streaming and watching replays on Duxbury YouTube. All right, so I would propose that we take the two administrative matters first, if that's okay with the board.
Sure.
All right. So 2021-06, the Village at Harlow Brook. They have a final plan set for the board to review and submit comments, which are on the wall. So...
Madam Chair, we did receive a memo from Pat Brennan, too, who's our peer review consultant that's monitoring and overseeing the whole project.
Okay.
Did
that in?
we see it?
I don't think that was in the packet, was it?
No, it came in after I sent packets out.
Okay.
So,
Could you maybe just read it?
I can.
Would be great. Thank you.
So a memo dated September 23rd, 2024, from Pat Brennan, PGB Engineering states, "This is to advise that we have reviewed the Village at Harlow Brook final plans revised September 5th, 2024, prepared by South Shore Survey Consultants, Inc. The plans have been revised to comply with the comprehensive permit and subsequent decision on stipulation and entry of judgment, dated June 22nd, 2023, issued by the Housing Appeals Commission. Based on our review of the plans, we are satisfied that they are in compliance with the documents cited and are consistent with the plans that we have reviewed throughout the permitting process. Please give us a call should you have any questions."
Thank you, Lou.
Okay, thank you. All right, so is there any discussion?
I'm a little confused. What are we talking about here?
So it's just a formality. It's approving that, so they appealed to the Housing Appeals
Okay.
Commission, the decision, and I don't know if they went for mediation or what, yeah?
Well-
Yeah.
So what changed, just out of curiosity?
Technically, this is what's written in the comprehensive permit, and I
Right.
verified that with
Okay.
Judy. We haven't seen it before, but it does state that the final plans come back to the ZBA and for review and comment.
Okay.
So it's what we voted on?
Right.
Right.
It hasn't changed
Right.
any?
No.
Okay.
It's a refined version where we added the fire suppression details as per the decision. We sent in addition to this, landscaping plans, architectural plans, construction management plans, everything as per the decision requirements.
Okay.
We've done all that, and we're supposed to come in front of you for final approvals and endorsement.
And Patrick said everything was great?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the plans
I
as
would
presented.
second that.
No, she wants to entertain one, so
Yeah.
she's looking
You
for
wanna
one of
move
us.
it?
So, oh, right, I'll move that motion.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye, Freeman.
I, Emmett?
Aye, Tanya. All right.
Great, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
When do you anticipate starting?
When can you endorse my plans?
Yes, well, then you have to wait for the appeal period, so 30 days,
There
right?
is no appeal period.
No,
Well-
so I think if the board wants to vote to have one member sign the plan set, so maybe.
I'll come in and sign it.
Here, so
Okay.
this is the official set,
Now,
yeah.
question for the board. Would you like Mylars to endorse so that I can put them on record, or would you like PDFs? We're happy to provide you with anything.
We're looking at you guys.
What's the norm?
Want a hard copy, you can send us a PDF also on a flash drive, or email Lauren, and she'll put it in the record.
Lauren has them.
I have everything, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and this is the official plan
So-
set, so we
Okay.
can just have these
We'll sign that.
endorsed.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect, thank you so much.
So just for clarification, so the decision, the modified decision
Yeah.
was issued, it was already filed with the town clerk, and the
Oh,
appeal
yes.
period is run?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So
Okay,
just,
got it.
one more thing, we have to sign Mylars,
Yep,
Get them.
bring them in.
no
Bring 'em-
problem.
Yeah.
Great.
Because.
The sooner you get them to Lauren, she will call one of us and shoot, we'll shoot down and
Thank you
sign.
so much, much
Okay.
appreciated.
Great,
Have a
thank
great
you.
night.
Thanks, you too.
2022, is that one?
2023.
3?
Wasn't it 2023?
It came before us in 2021, but yeah, it took.
Took a while to get there.
Yeah, it did, because they were on.
It's a process that's in the decision, and it's kind of unique. I don't think it's been done before. So
One other time since I've been here was Checkerberry, and they did bring Mylar, and the board voted to let, or approve Wayne to sign them, and that's what we have.
Got it, okay.
So kind of the same scenario. Sometimes you see it in the decision, we just happen to read through it to make sure we're consistent.
So if you guys want to, Lauren, sometimes I shoot down and sign things. If you want to say that, Lauren calls me, and I'm always around, and I
Okay, thank
pop
you.
in.
That's great.
Okay,
Wonderful.
thank
So we're
you.
good.
Okay, great. All right, so the second administrative matter is 2024-19A, Conkey, 50 Checkerberry Circle. So prior to building permit issuance, the board must determine if the proposed request for a 20-foot by 10-foot deck would be a substantial or insubstantial modification to the original comprehensive permit, 2019-14. So there is a letter to the board that was received September 13th from Samantha Conkey, who I assume is the owner of 50 Checkerboard Circle. She says the proposed deck addition was reviewed and approved by the homeowners association, and has attached the plans. Given the scope of the project, she's seeking clarification as whether the alteration constitutes a substantial or insubstantial modification under the zoning regulations. So I guess I could use some guidance as to which,
I'll be happy to
thank you.
talk a little bit about that.
Okay,
So in my time here in Duxbury, this is my first time I've had to deal with a 40B expansion. I spoke with Amy Questle quite a bit through this process, just to vet out the process. So essentially what happens when, I'm going to summarize and paraphrase a little, when a 40B is created, it has its own unique zoning properties to it. So the zoning bylaw itself doesn't necessarily apply in any way. So when somebody wants to expand one of those structures, they have to come before the zoning board after they receive approval from the local association that they may have established, and the board has to make a determination whether or not the expansion is substantial in nature. If it is deemed that is not substantial in nature, the board can grant the approval of that and consider it insubstantial. If the board determines that it's substantial, then they have to reapply for a change in the comprehensive permit.
oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So did town council indicate that we can utilize the definition of substantial improvement in the zoning code or zoning bylaw, or?
I didn't see any language around that at all. It's just substantial, and so it's up to the board based on the project, size of the project, what it is, if it is substantial or not.
Which we've done in the past for other things. I forget where
Yeah,
or what.
garage on Back River Way and stuff, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have done this
Okay.
in the past. They weren't substantial, or maybe they were, but these things have come before.
I think it's just a matter of listening to the applicant, ask what they're asking. You can kind of look at some of the other properties on there. Some of the other properties do have decks because of topography, I think, if I recall in my mind about that project.
Right.
I think if the,
The board, the
H-
HOA, if they
yeah,
approve
if they
something,
approved it,
I
then,
mean, those are tough to climb, some of
What
those.
I kind of learned through this process, through talking to various other lawyers around this, is it's a difficult thing to write in a decision for a 40B where, and I talked with Amy Questle about this, that they can write in a definition what is substantial or insubstantial insofar as an expansion of the structure. I was told by one particular gentleman who is very well known that he tends to write it in his decision, although Amy and I have not seen this, so you can avoid this formality. But it is not in this particular case.
Or
And
any
so-
of our other cases,
We
in
didn't,
recent memory.
yeah, I didn't, when this came before me, it took me quite a while to sort this out before we got to this point.
Like Harlow Brook, we didn't do it.
No, because, well, all right, so Checkerberry exists,
Right, right,
and so now when someone comes in, they want to expand it.
Correct.
This is the process. We have to
Right.
determine whether it's substantial or insubstantial. That's a tongue twister.
and it would be the same for Harlow Brook if somebody wants to.
It would be
they'll
the
come
same
in.
for any 40B
Right, 'cause we
because,
didn't write in what, we
right.
haven't, we never have.
And it's very difficult, talking to Amy Questle, you know, who does this quite a bit, basically said that it's very difficult to try and craft language when
Be
the
awful.
zoning board becomes sort of the approval of the unique zoning that was
Right.
created for that
Right,
development. And it's a little bit of a challenge, and it's really listen to the applicant, see what it is they want to propose, and the board's, authority is to say, is this substantial or insubstantial, and that's really it.
Okay. Is the applicant here?
She's on Zoom.
She
She's
is,
stuck
okay.
down south, unfortunately.
Oh, dear. Yikes, okay.
I am here, sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear me at
We
all.
can, yes.
Sorry, I am stuck in North Carolina due to weather, but I was planning to be there, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. But hi, everybody, Samantha Conkey, 50 Duxbury. Yeah, just, I've gone through this has been a learning curve for me, learning a lot with Jim, but trying to go through the formal process. Just looking to put a small deck on the back of our house, and go through the proper channels to do so.
Thank you.
Jim, could I ask a question?
Sure.
If they had chosen to put a patio versus a deck and a set of stairs down, would that turn into the same thing?
It's considered a landscape item,
Right.
really,
All right,
a patio is,
just curious question, really.
yeah.
Not a structure.
It wouldn't be before me, is,
Right,
I think the
be
only
built.
consideration might be coverage if it was an impervious concrete deck, but
Right, right.
that might be a
Alright.
consideration, but in this case, if it was to be just, a patio deck, then no, they wouldn't be here.
All right,
It's not considered an expansion of structure.
got it.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Anybody in the audience or the wall?
Oh, sorry.
Go, Boris.
Go ahead, Boris.
It's Boris, sorry. I'm sorry if I missed the,
No.
No, Boris.
Boris, we can't hear you.
the deck.
Boris, start again. We just,
Denise asked about setback.
Is that us or him?
Boris,
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
now we can.
Yes.
Does the deck encroach on any setbacks? I didn't see any. plans.
No.
No, Boris.
It does not, it just abuts the house, 10 by 20 screen, thanks, Lauren.
There we go.
Sorry, did that come through?
Yes.
Between cell coverage.
So no setback issues, Boris?
There aren't any? Okay.
No.
No.
just for understanding there, I'm looking on Nair Map right now, which is something we have, and
What?
I can see
What is Air Map now?
Nair Map. It's
Oh.
Satellite.
it's kind of a,
It's like Google Map or near?
It's a subscription service that we have had since July 1st. But at any rate, there are, based on topography, what has happened and is happening in another 40B that's going on is sometimes instead of a patio or a deck, they're installing decks on some of these. And I'm looking at an air map now, I can see two of them a few houses away that actually have decks on them when they were originally built. So to back up a little bit, when a 40B is created, you have sort of a concept drawing of what the buildings are going to be. In a 40B, that can slightly change a little bit with respect to certain dimensional aspects and things like that. Some of them come through with decks on them and some of them don't.
Right, if they opted in the beginning to pay for the deck, they wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Right, got it.
But where it's after the fact, the job's complete and closed
Yep.
out and the house is
Signed
done.
off, everything.
Right.
Got it.
All right, any other,
Move.
any other comments, questions, anything? Nope, okay. So I'll move to accept the, well,
Proposed deck
You have to make a determination whether it's substantial or
determination.
as an
insubstantial.
okay. So I would
unsubstantial.
move to make a have the board make a determination that the deck is considered an insubstantial modification to the original comprehensive permit.
So moved. Right?
She made the motion.
All right,
You
so-
got backwards.
All right.
You can
Second.
second it.
Second, all right. Well, we did it differently the first one.
Yep.
All right, got it. Second,
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye, Freeman.
I am it.
Aye, Tanya. Okay. Congratulations, Samantha. Hope you get home safely.
Thank you all, much appreciated.
You are welcome. I'm going down to North Carolina tomorrow, fingers crossed.
Isn't that where the storm's hitting now?
No, it's further south, but
It's heading up
Not
that way.
tomorrow. Might be
You
bumpy.
be quiet. I know. Okay, moving on. That's the end of our administrative portion of the hearing. We are coming to,
You missed the minutes, though.
what?
we can do
Wanna
that.
do
Do you
them?
want to do the minutes now? We can
Why
do
not?
that. Okay. Where are they?
We have meeting minutes from June 13th, 2024. Tanya Trevisan, Emmett Sheehan, Freeman Boynton Jr., and Boris Goynich.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of June 24.
13,
Yes.
2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye, Freeman.
I am it.
Aye, Tanya. Okay.
All right, next set, July 11th, 2024. Tanya Trevisan, Emmett Sheehan, Freeman Boynton Jr., and Boris Goynich.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye, Freeman.
I am it.
Aye, Tanya.
And the last set, July 25th, 2024. Emmett Sheehan, Freeman Boynton Jr., and Tanya Trevisan.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second. All those in favor?
I am it.
Aye, Freeman.
Aye, Tanya.
Bart,
I don't think you need it.
say aye.
Say aye, Boris.
I think he did.
He did? Okay,
All set.
all set.
He
All right.
wasn't on them.
Okay. Oh, he wasn't? I thought he
No.
was. Okay. My apologies. Okay. Now, we have case number 2024-08, Delano, 70 Sewell Ave, which is continued from July 25th.
That's a long time ago.
I know.
All right. Property owners, Steve Delano, Megan Delano, and on the line, we also have our architect, James Christensen, for any technical questions.
Okay.
We put together a couple slides here, just because we started in July 25th, and there's been a number of different things that have happened since then, so just to level set here, I thought it'd be worthwhile to walk through the timeline. As specifically from 25th of July onwards. So ZBA had some questions around the septic plans. Those were approved by the Board of Health. Lauren has resolved everything there. Check. There were questions on the overhangs on the structure, particularly over the garage and over the front bump out. We did not have measurements on those plans. We also did not have an answer for you if they were factored into the square footage calculation. So we have answers and have resolved that. They are currently factored in. And then there were a handful of other changes, which we have on subsequent slides here. We'll walk through them one by one. This is the application that went in front of the design board. They had a number of different comments based on the mass, sizing, scale, as well as some other just architectural design. So really since July 25th up until now, we have spent a lot of time tweaking the design without throwing the design away, which was a quote that was, it was some guidance from Judy at that time. And we also had a baby girl that came along on September 3rd, so it's been a busy couple of months here. But we'd like to just walk you through the changes that have been made. So again, everyone's just understanding some of the work that's been done. On the left-hand side of this table here, these are all design review board suggestions that we have taken into account. I won't spend a lot of time on them. You can read it. It's changing roof pitch. It's modifying those overhangs over the garage door and entry door. We have an oval window on the front of the house that they preferred to have to be smaller. The garage door in shape was changed from arched to squared. They requested color palette, and so we went out and hired a 3D rendering firm. You'll see a picture coming up here in another couple slides that is the actual, printed out in front of you is something very, very close, but we literally just got the updated one on the car right here. So, and on the right-hand side of the page, some other changes that were not necessarily suggested by the DRB, but they were changed. So, number one is an important one here. The gable roof was changed to a gambrel. This was something that the DRB, amongst them, could not decide on what was more advantageous. So they looked to us to make that decision.
So it was this before?
Yes, that's correct. Yep. And for the record, we chose the gambrel because we thought it did a nice job of reducing the size of the shed dormer, particularly on the right-hand side. When you have that kind of A-frame gable look, it just stood out a lot more. So that was the primary reason there. We also reduced the size of that right side shed dormer by 1.5 feet. We pushed it off the road. So we shrunk it. The lot coverage decreased slightly, just with some updated figures, taking into account the new overhangs. We did add a deck to the rear of the house, which does not have any impact on the setbacks, but that is on the plans as well. And then on the next slide, these are changes proposed by the DRB that were declined. I think it's worth stating, or at least it was stated to us, that these are recommendations, these are proposed changes, these are not mandatory. So we had obviously multiple reviews with them. We also want to specifically thank Matthew Blumenthal, who spent a lot of time both in the meetings but outside of the meetings, reviewing our plans, emailing, talking with us, advising us on a number of things. We were, obviously cooperative in trying to make as many as we could. We were not able to do all of them simply for a number of reasons here. As you all know, when you make one change, it tends to have ripple effects, i.e. you change a staircase, well, that changes everything on the floors above and below it. He personally wanted the gable style, but as I mentioned, the DRB as a whole could not decide, so Matthew himself liked gable, but they left it up to us, and we chose the gambrel style. He preferred to have one window up on the gable, third floor. When we chose a gambrel style, we ended up keeping two.
So Plymouth, excuse me,
Yep.
he's the architect?
No, he's
on
a
the
DRB.
design
Oh, all right,
board,
all right,
too.
all right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He is an architect, but he is not
All right,
our
got it.
architect.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Number 3, we changed the large dormer. Oh, yes, he recommended taking the large shed dormer on the right-hand side and cutting that in half or splitting it. We did, this is where my architect, James, may want to comment. We tried a lot to do that. We were not able to make that work from an engineering and structural standpoint. We can revisit that if there are comments, but I'll just continue on here. The DRB wanted to see an 8-foot 6-inch ceiling height on the first floor. We currently have 9. We declined because the height of the complete structure is 29.2. Didn't feel like 6 inches would make that much of a difference to the streetscape. Building commissioner has approved at the 29.2, so didn't want to necessarily jump at that. If it makes a difference to get this approved, of course, we'll reduce it, but that's not something we wanted to do. Attempt to lower the sill height of the windows on the second floor. They're currently at 30 inches. We declined that simply because we now have 2 small children and a dog, and just for safety reasons, didn't feel like that was necessary. And then eliminate the shed dormer on the left side. Again, he said if it's not humanly possible, at least we tried. We did try to get rid of that, but we have a staircase that comes up, and therefore the height of the staircase necessitated that dormer there.
The one over the garage.
The one on the right side of the house, but
This one.
All right.
yep, thank you. So this is currently what the house looks like. We were able to have a 3D image generated, just one, not a full 360 degree, but you can see that this covers obviously a lot of the house and changes. So hopefully that's helpful for you all to visualize. We also wanted to call out a couple similar representative examples right here within the same neighborhood, 9 Puritan Way. This was approved a few years ago at a higher building coverage at 24.4%. We're in front of you at 20.7%. That structure at 9 Puritan is significantly closer to the road at 6.5 feet. We're at 11.5 feet. The existing structure that is at 70 Soul is 11.4. We're at 11.5. Let's call it even. That structure on 9 Puritan was higher, maxing out the square footage, the height restriction. We are less than that. And they did not rectify any of the side setbacks. In fact, they actually added to a nonconformity. We fixed a nonconformity, so I want to make that clear as well. And then some similar representative examples. Again, right within the neighborhood, 79 Priscilla Ave is literally 166 feet away. You can hit it with a baseball. That's the 2 on the bottom left and middle. Again, large shed dormer style, 2.5, 3-story, whatever you want to call it. Then you have 35 Soul Ave. This was recently built and sold within the last couple months. You may have seen it. Again, very similar style, 2.5 stories with a shed dormer. 246 Gurnett Road. There's lots and lots of examples. And last slide, just in conclusion, in closing thoughts, as you think about our application here, if you have seen the pictures in the application, the existing structure is well beyond disrepair. It's uninhabitable. It's dilapidated. We're here to beautify the neighborhood. We think this is great for the town, frankly, to build a nice new house. Obviously, tax revenue, bringing in a young family. We're deeply invested in the community, have been for many, many generations. This land has been in Megan's family for, I think, 5 generations now. And my family has been here for many, many years as well. The amended plans, we listened, we made a lot of adjustments here. We reduced the site coverage, we reduced the size of the dormer, we accommodated several of the DRB's recommendations. And we think this is a reasonable application. It corrects the side setback nonconformity. It maintains the front setback. We are not encroaching any further on the road. In fact, the percent of the non-conforming site is still 6%. Granted, the overall mass is getting bigger. I don't need to say that, that's very obvious, but the percent of the non-conforming piece is actually staying the same at 6%. And as I mentioned, this is less aggressive than other approved ZBA applications, and seeing this 3-story design is fairly common in town. I think most importantly, we are getting really strong support from the abutters. It was read on the first 25th of July ZBA meeting, all 20 letters, including all of the direct abutters, and as of right now, we have heard of 0 opposition. People were extremely welcoming. They sat us down, and we had tea and coffee with a lot of people and chatted in their front living room and talked about, the neighborhood. And so they're excited for this project, and I hope you all are too. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening. Open for questions.
One question, which was reference to color palette of the proposed house. Could you explain what that conversation was about?
Yeah, in our submitted drawings, they were 2D and black and white, and it just said color to be determined by owner at time of construction. And so I think there was just some questions around what color would it be, what sort of materials would it be, and as you can see from the 3D rendering, it's going to be a very traditional style gray color.
Okay, thank you.
It's nothing more than that.
I just find it odd because that isn't mentioned in our zoning bylaw in any way.
So,
That was at our
That was
first
design review.
Design review board.
Not
And-
Yeah,
and
still.
Chair Dennison.
That wasn't us.
Chair Dennison did state, you can paint your house any color. They were more concerned about the height and
All right,
other
thank you.
issues.
I was wondering what the new nonconformity was at 9 Puritan Way, because we don't allow new nonconformities. As a rule, we don't approve any, we don't give variances.
Back. I believe it's right on there. So in the bottom right-hand corner here, you can see the side setbacks on the existing were 16.9, and then and 0.2, negative 0.2, and then it went from 16.9 to 10.2. So it actually got worse. So they went from conforming, I guess that's sort of a left-right measurement. Jim, you would probably be able to answer that better, but it appears to be a left-right. 15 is required. They had 16.9. They went down to 10.2 in their proposed.
We wouldn't allow that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Right? Isn't that true? We don't let people get closer.
Would they have applied for a variance maybe?
We don't give
You don't
variances.
grant
No?
variances, yeah.
What was the address of that one?
9
Puritan?
Priscilla?
Yeah.
Oh, Puritan, sorry.
Is that across the street?
Close.
Puritan, I just trying to picture it.
It's in,
That's us.
yeah, so it's kind of deeper than
Okay.
Mosquito Village there.
Do you have a plan showing where the deck is going on here?
We do, that would be in, I'll let Lauren pull that up. You can stop sharing.
So we have a new site plan?
Yes.
Yes.
Updated site plan.
Okay.
The deck is shown on the architectural plans, Lauren. Here, we'll pull that up.
So we don't have one on the site plan? Does that meet the setbacks, the deck, or?
Keep going. It's, I think, the third page. Yep, there you go. On the, yep, keep going down, sorry. On the right side there. You can just see the deck.
On the site plan.
How far out does that extend?
It is. It's 15.6.
Is that
Just-
over the, is that on top of the septic, or?
No, it's not.
No, I think it's, Is it the slab foundation? I mean, what,
No,
No,
is it beyond that then?
that's 15.6 beyond the slab.
15.6 beyond the slab, okay.
so it stops just short of the septic then. I would've-
Just for clarification on that Puritan way that you're talking about, the information you have is incorrect. There were no new nonconformities made on that project. I think some of the dimensions you might have referenced were a beanpole measurement that was on the plan. That is basically a technique used when they're placing a foundation, they kind of offset, right?
Yep,
So I'm looking at the plan right now. It's irrelevant to this case anyway, but just for clarification, there were no new nonconformities made on that. It went from 16.9 on the side you spoke of to 17.4.
Okay, so, yeah, whatever I had was outdated.
That's okay. No worries.
So it's not, I think it's,
these are the revised architecturals?
That's correct.
We don't have it.
we don't have it.
We need
Lauren,
it,
will
right?
they, is,
Did
so
you
is
do-
the deck on here? I'm sorry.
The deck is on the architectural, not on the site plan.
Okay.
It kind of looks like the deck was over the septic, but I would imagine we could leave that up to Jim to make sure that doesn't happen when he gets a revised site plan.
Yeah. We,
The,
we definitely need a site plan with it on there, right?
I would think so.
Right? Your thoughts, Jim?
Well, in my experience here, I've seen several times where an expansion of the structure or something that's not referenced on a plot plan can't be approved with a condition. You guys have to approve to a plot plan,
Okay,
Right, okay,
showing all structures.
right. We don't
Can you
need,
hear us?
we only need Boris.
No, it's, something happened with Pat. So in order to move forward, we need you, so we figured we'd call and keep you on speaker. All right, so everyone can hear you, and we will continue.
okay, thank you, Lauren. All right. So we were just discussing whether or not we should require a site plan with the deck on it, or potentially, well, actually, Emmett, you said that that's what you wanted.
I did, but then Jim came up with a workaround.
Okay, so the workaround would be, that-
We approve not with the deck. Unless they want to, unless you come back with all of it, which you're gonna have to do anyway for the deck. You'll have to prove to Jim that the deck is within,
they could get going.
right.
The question, I got a question, did the footprint of the house change at all and location on the set, on the
It went down
submitted plot plan?
a couple of square feet.
The overhangs are the only thing.
The overhangs is what changed the square footage,
Okay.
but the actual foundational footprint did not change.
okay, so the latest version that you have, you took the overhang off and you created an overhang over the entryway. So is that coming further out, and do we have measurements for that?
Yes.
That's all on the site
Yes,
plan.
That's
on the
all
site.
in this site plan? Okay. All right.
Hold on.
I think that's comes under the soffit and fascia thing that we ignored mostly.
Mostly.
But we haven't been
Yeah, we have.
ignored.
If it's a typical soffit.
Oh, right. But when they were doing this, that's when we started.
Yeah.
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like wings, yeah.
Right.
Makes-
Okay. All right,
I'm
so,
wondering if you have revised volume calcs on this structure, how much have you reduced the non-conforming volume of the house since we last met? Do you know?
That's still within our application, that's still accurate within the application.
So you haven't reduced the non-conforming volume? You didn't change the size of the dormers or anything?
We did.
We did.
I mean, that was our.
One of them got
that was
shorter,
our-
he pointed
That was
out.
our biggest concern the last time we were here.
Yeah, the dormer itself became smaller, but the square footage, again, the footprint never changed.
Nope, non-conforming volume. This by this by
Yeah.
this.
It had to have gotten
The
smaller.
square footage is a square number in two dimensions.
Yeah,
The
your
volume is,
cubic.
takes the
Yes.
third dimension. How much airspace you taking up in this town?
Yeah, we did not make those updated calcs.
Okay. Can you tell us how much, in what way did you reduce the non-conforming volume? Do we have other views of this?
What, the original, you
Or what-
mean?
yeah. Can-
I don't have
can
the
you
original.
compare the new architecturals to the old architecturals? And it seemed to me, everybody here at the last meeting was concerned that it looked like a giant milk carton. It wasn't 2.5 story. As you showed in some of these pictures,
Lauren, do we have
Yeah,
the
she's-
old thing?
this is a 2.5 story house, this one on Priscilla,
Yeah.
with some shed dormers in the front, and that's cute. This one here, it's got a big shed dormer in the back, but what's the other side look like?
Oh, that's the same
Those
house.
are the same house. It's
That's
on
just
a
the front
corner
back.
lot, so you drive by it on 2 streets.
Okay, these are both the same house?
Correct.
Okay, so from the street, it doesn't look bad, but from the back, it looks
Looks like a 3-story house.
3-story house, yeah, but I'm wondering what your house looks like now, and how it differs from the last design.
So that's the original,
Yeah,
okay.
thanks, Lauren.
So
So
that's the rear over there?
this is the side profile,
Okay,
and what we've done, I believe that's only, but we've now taken that in 3.5 feet.
okay, that's an improvement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you
On both,
Recording in progress.
We're back.
okay,
And,
and that's on both sides, so on the front view here, which is the
Correct.
one on the left,
Yep.
both dormers
As well
got
as that
pushed
one.
back to
Pushed
3.5
back.
feet.
Correct.
Well, that's
right,
what we've been looking for.
Yep.
and gambrelled the roof, I don't know what that,
That was more of a visual.
right,
to,
but I bet
the
it,
dormers look
it did
like.
something.
Yeah,
These dormers are pretty big.
That's a
The
huge,
milk carton is the first thing I
huge
heard.
improvement, I gotta tell you.
The
The-
milk carton.
and did the dormer on the left change at all, or is that the same?
This one here,
Yeah,
that's the same.
okay.
The garage door changed,
It's
The
square
overhangs.
now. The overhangs are
Gambrel.
different.
dormers got smaller. By maybe 5 or 8 or 9 or 10%.
Okay.
It's certainly more pleasing to my eye.
Can we see the new architecturals, Lauren?
Sorry?
Do you have the new architecturals?
We do,
Well, we have one picture.
right. Oh, do they have them?
That's it.
Oh,
right
they
here.
do.
That's the back.
Oh, there's the deck.
Yes, deck is there.
So there's the front. Do we still need those shed dormers on the sides with the gambrel?
We needed the one on the left, this is the one I was speaking
For
about,
the
where it
stairs?
goes up the
Stairway.
stairs.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And that one we would
For
like to
the,
keep.
for the functions of the room, the back half is a
So you can
closet.
have windows in there, I bet, huh?
There were windows, there's not
No
anymore.
windows now.
We've,
Oh, why not?
Kind of with all the back and forth with the design board, we changed to skylights, but there could be windows that could be
I
back in.
think it
It's
would,
kind of a lot of
I
change.
mean, like
I think
this
it would
one
look
here,
prettier
the
with
third story,
windows.
That looks just ridiculous without any windows in it.
We're happy to put the windows back in, there's
Yes,
just been
do
so much back.
Right?
Would you say yes, do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in,
Did you see this one?
Yeah.
to see that.
No windows. It just
It's awful looking,
looks silly, yeah.
right.
And I'm surprised at that because they don't like wall massing. That's like a big thing.
Yeah, that's
And
strange.
to see that,
There was some, I think they wanted us to split the dormer, which we very much did try, and there's something about our.
When you say, what do you mean by split it?
They wanted two.
Oh, gosh,
So when we
okay.
tried to do that, I think, I don't know if James.
James, are you on the line?
but When we tried to do that, something with the roof structure didn't work. We had the BDM rail, and we had to keep this dormer for the roof integrity, or the structure. I'm not an architect, so I can't speak to it, but, yes, we originally had windows there, and then this is a closet, that's why there's no windows.
And I think both dormers, it gives it symmetry to me.
Yeah, I agree.
If you lost the one on the right, I think it might look odd.
Yes.
Well, hold on, it doesn't become gambrel anymore, really. I mean, weird, yeah. I'm good with that.
Want to go back to the new ones, please? Can we see, move it around a little bit, please? We need some laser pointers.
Jim, can you requisition a couple?
yeah, you need laser pointers. What color? Green's nice.
So the dashed line is the height of the building?
That's the 30-foot limit, and this one below it is the midpoint.
The midpoint of
How,
some of the roof.
how the town measures it, and that's the one that Jim signed off
The
on.
largest square footage part of the house, I believe.
Correct.
I would venture to guess it's probably 30% of the roof. Most of it's a lot higher than that, isn't it?
Yeah. What is the total height?
How much of the roof do you think is at that height?
Which.
What percentage of the roof? 'Cause it's all
90,
dormers.
right?
But
That slash line, Freeman?
Yeah, we're measuring from the top all the way to the bottom
Yep.
and taking the midpoint, and that's,
So you're
Okay,
asking what's
and
the
over here in
percentage
this
above?
picture, on that dormer, where's the bottom? The roof,
Well, this
on the
gable
dormer.
part of the house.
No, on the dormer,
the dormer.
yep,
I believe
Where's
Yeah,
here.
it runs all the way to the bottom right here.
okay. But on the shed dormers, where's the bottom of the roof?
I believe it's measured.
And how much of the roof has shed dormers going down to that height? So the midpoint of that section is up quite a bit higher. So I'm just wondering what percentage of the roof that height pertains to.
I don't have that.
Yeah, and I
calculation.
just made, oh, it's not on. It's not working?
Maybe it is.
Are we working?
Oh, it looks like it is.
I don't know if we're on. Just for record, during this whole design process, before they even applied for the application, I don't know how many months we worked back and forth together to determine percentages, because from my perspective, when I'm trying to manage the expectation when they get in front of you, that I made the determination at the time that based on the square footage under the prevailing roof lines, I broke it out in sections, that we've always used what makes up the most square footage under each roof line to determine what the actual height of the building is.
Okay,
And so, in this case, we worked quite a bit to get to the point where the percentage of roof under that taller slope was greater than the dormered section of roof. So
Okay.
we historically have used whatever was the predominant roof line. It's kind of interesting when you get into these.
it just seems to me if the back of the house is all the shed dormer all the way across, and that's 50% of the house,
It's the side
It's
of the
not,
house.
though. It's
This is
on
the
the
side.
side.
So this is the back of the house
Okay.
right here. This
All
is
right.
the back.
That's the back.
so can we look at the other side
This
then?
is the side with the long shed dormer. This is the side of the stairs.
Scroll it down, Lauren, please.
Yeah, so
You go
that
up.
picture on the right, Freeman,
Up, I guess,
that we were just looking at,
yeah.
go pull that picture up. The elevation on the right-hand side, nope, go back down one. That's okay. Yes, the elevation right here on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
Not that one, it was the other drawing.
that's what I was
That
looking.
shows that shed,
That's what I was
right.
looking for. That's a good portion of the house the midpoint of that roof is up quite a bit higher on a good portion of the house, is my point.
But whether or not we have that dormer, the roof is from here to here. And
Where's the roof on the dormer, though?
it's-
It goes from up there to down, yeah, to there. And it makes that facade look tall. And we usually let people get away with that on Gurnett Road, because they're all doing it, and they're up on stilts, so it looks silly no matter how you slice it, but I think
How tall,
what you've done in the front makes me happy. I'm just,
how tall is it, the whole thing?
at
Do we
some
know?
point, we ought to try and
We know the
calculate
midpoint,
what the average.
30. If you could throw a dart at 36, 38,
Yeah, I mean, if this is 29 roughly, and this is 30, so that's 31, 32, 33-ish.
or, all right,
Yeah, we know
It's
this is
equal.
29.2. There's 30, 31, 32, 33, call it 33.
to the peak, yeah.
I'm okay with it. What do you think, Emmett?
It's way better if you didn't change the gambrel, you would have been totally out.
And the fact that they pushed those two shed dormers
Agreed.
on either side back helps quite a bit.
Ms. Boris?
And the fact that none of the neighbors oppose it.
Boris, do you have any comments?
Right. Well, they didn't oppose it before, and it's gotten better, so.
Wait.
should be
Just
the-
show them the original plan.
The new, and this goes back to the Puritan way effort with the new nonconformity. It looks like the proposed has some new nonconformities with the bulkhead and the front of the side of the house, but is that an exchange for the existing nonconformities that are going away? Do we check those calculations?
It's a good question. Could you put the site plan back up for us? Thanks, Lauren.
What do you ask?
He-
I think I'm talking to you in three different places.
I know. I can't tell because I'm sharing my
I-
screen. It
I'll-
was back on live. I'm not
His
sure.
his question was basically referencing the plot plan. Did we create some new nonconformities because the bulkhead looks like it encroaches closer than it was? And what was the other one? Was there another part of that?
Yeah, along the front side of the house, there's a new corner with the existing front. It's also about the same size as what's being removed. That's along the Soul Ave side of the house.
Yep.
On the Soul Ave side of the house, we're going from 11.4
You see the metrics behind that.
to
So,
11.5.
in reference to the bulkhead on the side, the zoning bylaw allows up to 30 square feet for steps and stoops to encroach into the setback. So that part is okay. I really can't tell, looking at the plan, if that got any closer on the front Soul Ave side.
Well, it's just that it's new. I don't think they got closer. It looks like they're adding a 0.1 of an inch. But because it's being raised, creating that new corner, that's new.
Correct.
Looks like to be a wash from what's being removed from facing Soul Ave.
Yeah, yep, I see what you're saying, yep.
Visually,
Did you guys hear that?
No.
No.
And speaking of steps and stoops, the steps aren't shown on the site plan.
I think that's the bulkhead right here, right?
Yes.
Correct.
It's a
So, what Boris was just asking about is that, here's the existing footprint of the existing structure,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And has this jog missing. He was commenting that it looks like it's kind of a wash because they got rid of this part of the non-conforming structure, but added it over here, but then reduced this. And I think his comment was just that it looks like it wasn't a new nonconformity that was created, I think is what he was suggesting, but that it looks like it was kind of a trade-off between these non-conforming aspects, and then they increased a little bit on this side, but didn't get closer to the lot line. here or here, because the original is 12.4, the nonconformity, and now it's at 15.2.
Original, the existing home.
The
Yes.
existing.
And I was wondering if that could
Yeah.
have been the Puritan way, do we give something up to allow if it wasn't in non-conformity?
Oh, we got them now. Oh, that happened. Sid, could you repeat that again?
We can hear you now, Boris.
Yeah, we're back on.
That me?
Yes.
Oh, the Puritan way question?
What you just said,
Could that have been the reasoning for the new non-conformity of Puritan way? Did they give something up to allow for that?
Oh, well, first of all, let
Did
me.
we solve that issue? I missed you on that one.
Yeah, I resolved that issue, is that they had some misinformation around that nonconformity. When referencing the plot plan, the figure that he called out was what they call a beam pole measurement, which happens to do with a technique of positioning foundations for offset so they can dig the hole and everything without disturbing locations. And there was actually no nonconformity. It was actually an improvement in the nonconformity in the actual plot plan. I looked it up.
All right.
It's irrelevant to this, but I just wanted to clarify that, and you must have been cut off when that happened.
On the front setback here, it looks like they're going from 11.4 to 11.5. But they are missing the stairs, Jim. When you mentioned the 30 square feet, they need to keep the stairs and the portion of the bulkhead that's outside the setback at less than 30 square feet.
What's interesting about that, Freeman, I've dealt with this before a couple times, is that it doesn't say 30 square feet in total. I believe it's per side, which is kind of a weird thing.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I got, let me get online and just look at that, but it was kind of interesting. I've dealt with this before. It's weird.
It is interesting. You
Yeah,
have to take advantage of that.
yeah. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it. Do you have the copy of the bylaw yet? Still? Oh, thanks.
So how big are the stairs? Any idea?
what, the front stairs?
Are they on the architectural?
You know what's interesting on the original plot plan is they're showing, they don't reference it, but they're showing the existing structure closer. If you go back to that plot plan that was just up there,
What stairs, Frida?
see how they show
Yeah.
that?
I would say
I don't know
they're
what the proposed
6 foot
stairs
by
are.
3 foot landing with the step, 12-inch step. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 6, 24. By looking at that, but God only knows.
You know what happens, the longer you wait, the quicker yours goes through when it's your turn?
All right, here's the interesting thing about that setback. I'll read it to you. This is the way I've interpreted it. Is that nothing herein shall prevent the projection of steps, stoops, not exceeding 30 square feet in area, cornices, windowsills, or bell courses into any setback. Doesn't restrict it to just one.
Into all of the setbacks. Doesn't,
That's the way,
okay,
I've kind of looked at this 10 ways to Sunday, but.
makes sense? You don't need to put a ladder in the front door.
Yeah, so I have reservations about what I have to say, but because the structure on the front, the steps and stoops also have a roof over it, that does not include projection into the setback.
Is it a roof or is it just a soffit and
I
a
can't
fascia?
tell from that.
How far out does it project?
Is it a portico?
Oh, yeah, the roof does, that does, no, we can't do that. Definitely not.
Right,
Unless it only sticks out the width of a soffit.
yeah, if it's just a trim detail, that's
How
different.
far does that, so we need a side
Are you-
elevation?
Does it cover you in the rain?
Yes, and that's
Okay.
the design board
That was
recommendation.
responsible
We had
design
something-
board.
We
Can-
had something less than this to start.
Can we see the side view of that, please, Lauren?
That's
Doesn't-
the garage.
There you go. I think it was on the right side there.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
So there's one small one over the garage, and then
I don't think that's,
Oh.
that looks like,
that's the old one.
yeah.
Oh, my, is it?
So
No,
we haven't
I don't
found it
think
yet,
they
or-
transferred the new detail onto the side view elevation or the stairs.
Well, it's completely different here than it is on that one.
Right.
Is this the old architecturals?
This is what we presented to the design board.
Okay.
When we met with them the second time.
Second time.
They asked for this new look, so we just got that updated picture tonight driving here. That's
Oh.
what we're rendering for.
So this is what it's gonna look like?
Correct.
No.
No,
It's
that's
the
the
one-
old
The one
one.
on this,
I can
And
share.
How far does that project off the house? More than 10 inches?
Yeah, it's gonna
Yes.
cover them.
Yes, it's more than 10.
You
It's,
can't do that. That would be you'd need a variance for that.
Well, before you say that, can you post this plot plan for 1 second? And the reason I suggest this is just because the existing plot plan shows, which isn't accounted for.
Oh, there is currently a projection like that?
I don't know, what is
There-
it?
Those are the existing stairs.
those are the existing
Those are the
stairs.
stairs, so there's no roof.
No.
Okay.
No roof. Right. I never had the structure there. That might be, that's all.
Yeah, so that's gonna change the square footage of coverage also, that
Yeah.
roof area.
Yep.
Well, that's,
we have
that's
calculated
factored into
in.
the square footage.
I thought you said the square footage went down a little bit?
It did, we removed, it used to go all the way across the windows.
Yeah, it
So we
was like
removed
12 feet
some,
long.
We shortened the,
I know, but I think if it only sticks out 10 inches and it's just a trim detail, we don't count it. But if you
Right.
take something that's 4 or 5 feet wide and you project it out off the house 5 feet, then the building's getting closer to the,
and
because we look at roof area and not necessarily trim details.
Yeah.
we'd be happy to go back. to the
Have you
You can,
original,
well, you can take that same thing and push it
Push it in.
so that it only sticks out.
You
foot
have
or
the
whatever.
look, just not the functionality, yeah.
And that would give it the same look, but it wouldn't keep your head dry at the front door.
Yeah, and I don't think the prior one we had was really gonna keep us dry, it's more like a
Well,
light.
it was 1 foot out. The one you see in front of you there on that paper spanned almost the length of that whole bump out.
Yep.
It was about 1 foot. The design review board, again, trying to appease multiple masters here, it's difficult. They're the ones that wanted the actual overhang over the door,
It makes sense.
but it has implications, doesn't it?
Yeah, on a zoning
Yes.
basis, on a coverage. Anything that has a roof over it is counted as square foot of coverage on the lot. And we do allow, if you look at the soften the face on all the way around the house, we don't count that. And if that little overhang detail on here only sticks out a foot, then we don't count it.
Right. So it is counted, if you scroll down a little bit, Lauren, it's in the 1357. There in the bottom right building coverage.
Okay?
So that, we have confirmed from our architect, includes all of the overhangs.
Including the front portico roof?
Yes.
Okay, but it's just getting too close to the street. If it only sticks out a little,
Right.
we won't count it. That would be a new nonconformity, or,
Yeah.
Is there anything that keeps you from pushing the house back if you really want that detail?
The septic, I believe, because with the slab foundation is due to the septic.
no, if you only need 10 feet, and it looks like you're 15. If the deck fits, you'd have to shorten the deck.
Yeah, but then also it would shorten the basement, because the slab foundation that we have on the house is due to the
Yep,
buffer.
that's true.
Yeah.
You gotta pick your,
Yeah. Yeah, we
And
would prefer to have just a 1-foot overhang over,
Yeah.
over the
Okay.
house and not encroach further and ask for another nonconformity.
Because we understand we can't have a shed or anything like that, so the space we have in the basement or the upper attic is our storage.
okay.
So part of this home is not, it's not a full foundation on the whole thing?
Part of
Yeah,
it has a slab
correct.
foundation, due to the buffer needed for the septic.
To give them the 20 feet off the
Shield, I believe.
basement.
Yes.
Wow.
We're trying to fit a lot. It's-
Yeah, we're
we wanna be
maximizing.
here for multiple-
You're putting a gallon and a half of milk
Decades,
into a
we want a
1-gallon
family here.
bottle, for sure.
There are new technologies that allow you to put a leaching field 5 feet off a full basement now.
Wow.
The engineer that was here earlier designed one on Huckleberry.
Wow. That would give you different options.
And that would allow us not to have a slab on grade?
Yeah,
And maybe push the house back.
of course, I told the homeowner I wouldn't install it. I didn't want any part of his basement getting smelly that close. I wouldn't do it, but
Alrighty then.
other people have.
Good point.
Jeez. All right. Any other questions or?
So I was gone for a minute, so you're gonna lose the overhang on the front?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
You're gonna go back to this one, the horizontal all the
Back
way
to the printed
across?
version.
Okay.
Sorry, design review board.
What?
but still give a little something,
That
right?
detail on the front of the house,
Sure,
Not
got
to
it.
cause
just for clarification, you could put the detail on the front of the house over the front steps, but it would just be a trim detail. It wouldn't project out all the way.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what
Which, that trim
they'll do.
detail, just for clarification, you're gonna keep the A-frame detail that's there, just
Just one
tighten
foot
it
off
up on the
front.
house.
Yes,
Okay,
And not the one that goes all the way across.
correct.
no mustache.
I think,
whichever
I
satisfies.
think they could do
the board.
whichever one they think looks better.
They can. The A-frame one
Because we-
is my vote, quite
Yeah.
As
frankly.
long as it doesn't stick out more than a foot.
okay. Deal.
Okay. Boris, have any other questions? Or anybody?
I think it would look good if it was just a trim detail.
Yeah, looks fine. So it's just a matter of the deck that's on the plan would be permitted separately.
Okay, we can do that. And that way you can get going. Right. All right.
And the only reason I suggest that is so you can reference the plot plan that you have for this project.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so,
Sorry, Tanya, sorry, I just have one question. Did we talk about cars? How many parking spaces they have there? Looks pretty tight there.
we didn't.
That's a good point.
Back over to the plot plan.
Not for one car?
Our
So
lots,
yeah, we have obviously a garage, 1-car garage.
Okay.
There's enough easily for one vehicle here.
Parking
And
for
then-
2 cars?
Yep, so we're at 2, and then we could have a slice of the driveway here.
up the side of the house.
That's what we intend to do, so you're really talking 4 vehicles on a 4-bedroom house.
Oh, the kids' bikes don't get rusty.
My dad lives next door, so we'll be using his garage.
Kids will be driving soon.
It's a good point. They can do 2 cars on the left.
And so that projection on the right side of the house is just a bulkhead, right? For clarification, it's not a doghouse or anything like that?
It's
It
bulkhead.
does say bulkhead on the site plan.
Does it?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. It does. Okay, so I guess we're at the point where we could entertain a motion.
To
Or close the
public
hearing.
hearing.
Yeah? Brendan's thinking.
I like looking at site plans.
You do?
I do too. It spells it out and keeps everything legitimate.
Does that mean you want to see the deck on? a-
No, no.
Oh, okay.
I just was staring at the site plan.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, so would somebody like to move to close the public hearing?
Second,
You need to move it first.
move it. I move to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
No, she's supposed
Oh, all
to
right.
see that,
It's
Emmett.
okay.
I'm trying to
it's
move
okay.
everything.
You're moving it along. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Morris.
Hi, Freeman.
Aye, Tanya.
Perfect.
Okay. All right,
Good
public hearing
luck.
is closed. We have any discussion? Board members?
I'm okay with it all. As drawn with what we're looking at. If it changed, that'd be really,
I think the game rail really
Yeah.
kicked it up a notch.
Yeah, I like it.
Which I'm surprised, because I've heard the design review board saying they don't like game rails in the past.
Is there a revision date that we can reference on those plans, just so when I get the building permits?
I don't know, that's up to Lauren, I guess. We didn't get architecturals.
hold on, 9/20.
Yeah, September 20th.
Okay, so then, if we don't have any further discussion, I would entertain a motion to accept the, what did you say, 20th, something?
9/20.
9/20, September 20th, 2024 architectural plans that have been filed.
Without the deck.
Without the deck. And as discussed with just the, what do you call it, the facade of the overhang?
Entryway.
The entryway. Yep, so that it's reduced and doesn't come out 3 feet or
More than 1 foot.
more than 1 foot. Anything else in there? I think that was it. All right, so, anybody like to move that?
And that they provide additional parking. I think is important.
Oh,
Don't want people parking on the street.
okay.
Not that Jim's gonna require it when he goes out to make a
Well, this-
file.
Well, it is a requirement to create 2 parking spaces per residential dwelling.
Okay,
Garage is one, in front is second, correct?
Doesn't
Yes.
say side by side, just
Right,
2
all right.
spaces.
Just
Yep.
two, which they have, and you want additional.
I don't know, you guys okay with that? Can you make-
Yeah, we are gonna have it.
It's gonna happen.
So, we wanna host Thanksgiving and things like that.
It's just one of my pet peeves is
It's
people
tight
parking on
area.
the side of the road and
Yeah.
making it tough to plow the snow.
Busy road.
I haven't seen that occur on Soul Ave, but I would agree.
Yeah,
That
we
would
don't- we don't
that would
wanna be the
hard
ones
on
that start
the
it.
road.
You
Yeah,
don't wanna be the first.
okay,
I would second that.
okay.
Did she make the motion?
Well, I was entertaining a motion,
was
so if you would
She was
like,
entertaining.
She's entertaining us tonight.
Okay,
I am. You could say so moved, and that would work.
so moved.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I Freeman.
Aye, Morris.
Hi, Tanya. All right, congratulations. All set. All
Hope we
right,
didn't beat you up too.
I know, that was,
I tell you, in the future going forward though, I'd like it before I show up here, lots of this stuff,
Oh,
you know?
absolutely, 100%. I agree.
And I think.
Because I
we should-
read everything before I got here.
I think we should look at an overhead view of the roof and calculate how much of it is at the dormer
Considered.
height and how much of it's down lower.
Your new program does that, I think, doesn't it?
It's not built.
Can you look down and give you square footage? Oh, not of,
No.
of an existing?
No,
No, not of a plan,
Not
right?
that crazy.
We should try and come
There are
up
programs
with.
available like that, but no, not,
there's
The
your
roof is
billion-dollar
usable.
idea.
What's that?
There's your billion-dollar idea. Come up with a application
You
that
know,
could
it's
do
a,
that.
it's a good suggestion for future cases when, you know, you're playing with architectural roof lines on, I could reach out to the, I could communicate that back and forth when I'm in this situation, to have the, coordinate between the architect and the site plan to show what that is.
But we should come up with what we're expecting it to be. Is it half the roof? Is it three-quarters of the roof, or?
I've always just looked at it in other cases before this, that what roof line makes up the majority of the height. 'Cause
I
I'm
just
trying to
want
determine
everything before I come to the meeting,
Oh, I,
you know?
Oh,
And
yeah.
honestly, I've pushed back and said sorry before. So
This one's a
you
lot
are a little
looser
bit
than usual.
lucky.
Well,
you
the
know.
application form itself says everything has to be in 12 days before the
Correct.
hearing date.
Right.
Period. So, you know.
I spent
you can
lunch
kick
reading
it, but-
everything. I would have read it if it was here, but
Anyway,
we're all good.
all right.
You want to email it to us?
No,
you guys.
it just came
You guys are all set.
as they came.
Yeah, you don't have to stay.
It's just
Go
us
home to your
hassling
baby.
around. Run, quick.
You are
Got a
welcome.
yes. No, just kidding.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So next matter is case number 2024-07. The petitioner is Jacqueline Jernigan. Is that correct? Okay, 21 Ocean Road South.
Alrighty. My name's Jeff DeLisi. I'm a lawyer. I'm here with Jacqueline Jernigan, the owner of the property, and her son Jeff Jernigan. Essentially, this is an existing single-story home that was constructed in the 1940s. The lot is an undersized lot at about 4,000 square feet. And the frontage is also non-conforming insofar as it's about 30
Did we
feet.
read the notice and
Oh,
Not yet.
all the
You can-
Okay, sorry.
correspondence? I think we
It's
gotta
okay.
do that first.
Here we go.
Sorry.
Sorry about
No
that.
worries.
We're moving.
Jumping the gun. All right, Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing in Merle Room, 878 Tremont Street via Zoom. Okay. To consider the application of Jacqueline Jernigan for a special permit under Articles 400 and 900, Sections 401, 401.2, Number 4, 402, 404, 410, 410.4, and 906.2 of the Duxbury Protected Bylaw. Property is located at 21 Ocean Road South, parcel 139-939-122 of the Duxbury Assessor's Map, consisting of .09 acres in the Residential Compatibility District, Flood Hazard Area Overlay District, and the Wetlands Protection Overlay District. The applicant proposes to add onto a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling where the proposal will increase in volume but not coverage. Special permit is required. Application can be viewed on the town's website under the Zoning Board of Appeals page or in the Municipal Services Department. Any individual with disability may request accommodation in order to participate in the public hearing and may request the application and any accompanying materials in an accessible format. Such request should be made at least 3 business days in advance by contacting Municipal Services. Okay, so you may proceed. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Do we have any
Again, for the record,
correspondence from the health department or the conservation or?
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
should have comments from health, conservation, planning.
If you'd like me to read them, I can.
Okay, that would be great, yeah.
There's a memo from the interim health agent dated August 28th stating this property is connected to the Marshfield wastewater treatment plant and therefore the Board of Health has no comment. We have a memo from the planning board dated September 16th from Chair Scott Casagranda stating at a meeting of the planning board on September 9th, 2024, the board voted 5-0, Mr. Dennison abstained, to recommend approval of the special permit application. We have a memo from
Which is
Design
really
Review
odd.
Board dated September 19th, 2024. At its meeting on September 18th, 2024, the Design Review Board reviewed and discussed the proposed installation as presented in the ZBA packet. In general, we concluded that the proposed installation is compatible with the area. Our conclusion is based on the following considerations. One, the submitted package illustrates a second floor addition to an existing non-conforming 876 square foot, single-story residential structure with a full basement. There will be no alteration of existing lot line setbacks. And number three, the architectural plans do not clearly define the proposed structure height. The site plan indicates the existing height as 15.3 feet and the proposed height as 22.5 feet. The DRB recommends that the proposed height be added to the architectural elevations illustrating conformance to the 30-foot maximum elevation per zoning bylaws. Respectfully, Gil Martin for the Design Review Board. And then today, we did receive a memo from the Conservation Commission that states, I reviewed the application and plans for the above noted project and determined it falls under the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission. The applicant filed a request for determination of applicability on August 1st, 2024, and received a negative determination at the August 13th Conservation Commission meeting, meaning a notice of intent is not required for the project. The determination, the DOA is attached to this memo. No further action is needed with this office based on the current plan. Thank you. Nancy Ruffo, Conservation Administrator. And then also, we received 7 letters in support. I'll just read the name and addresses. Brian Costello, 14 Ocean Road South. Ed Keith and Carrie Dean, 260 Gurnett Road. Valerie Dean, 258 Gurnett Road. Michael and Judy St. John of 6 East Pine Point Road. Andrew Hauser of 5 East Pine Point Road. And Deborah and Michael Jordan of 19 Ocean Road South. And the last one is from Bill Dirumpo of 23 Ocean Road South. And that's all of the correspondence.
Thank you. Okay. Now.
I think you can proceed now.
I'm chomping at the bit. Okay, so my name is Jeff DeLisi. I'm a lawyer. Jacqueline Jernigan, my client, is with us tonight, as well as Jeff Jernigan, her son. Jacqueline is the owner of the property, which is the subject of the application. Lauren did a lot of my work for me, so I'll try and keep it brief. The property is a non-conforming lot, meaning that it has about 4,000 square feet, and it also has 30 feet of frontage. The existing home, which was built in the around 1940, according to the tax assessor, is on a full foundation with a basement, and is 876 square feet of floor area. And covers about 21.6% of the lot in a zone that requires 15% max. So the existing home it conforms on the front yard and the rear yard, but it is non-conforming on both sides. On the northerly side, it's a little less non-conforming. I'm sorry, it is, well, on the northerly side, it's approximately 2.2 feet from the side yard, and on the southerly side, it's approximately 6.3 feet. Mrs. Jernigan is, I'm not going to say her age, because if I said my mother's age in public, she'd get upset, but due to her age, she's decided to downsize, sell her home in Braintree, and move closer to her sons here in Duxbury, and is going to move into the house. The plan is to construct an addition onto the home, which is to create a second floor, essentially, which would be a bedroom and a bathroom, as well as a screened-in porch. The size of the addition, the bedroom and the bathroom portion of it, would be approximately 566 square feet, and the size of the screened-in porch would be approximately 103 square feet. The addition is staying fully within the existing footprint of the home. There is zero impact to the setbacks, and There is no proposal to do any work outside of the four corners of the existing home. The property is also located, in addition to the residential compatibility district, it's also located in the flood hazard area overlay. We've worked with Mr. Wasilewski on the question of the 50% rule and whether it needed to be raised on the pilings under both your code and the building code. We were able to demonstrate that it does not constitute a substantial improvement to an existing structure, so it does not need to be raised on the piles. We've provided an appraisal of the depreciated value of the home, as well as we've answered the cost estimates on your check sheet, as well as provided the estimates.
That's why you
for
gave
the
those to us.
Yeah.
Say again?
That's why we got them.
Yeah.
I thought that was a,
It's
That's it.
unusual.
I honestly thought it was a mistake, but perfect.
what?
We never
All
get,
the-
we
all the
never get the
numbers.
costs ever, or whatever.
It was so close.
Right, so that's perfect that you did that.
Yeah.
Got it.
yeah. And Jim rightfully was adamant that we
Do
did it
that.
so that we
Yeah.
could demonstrate this.
Prove it.
So essentially, yes, the property is located in the wetlands protection overlay, but none of the work is proposed to be in the overlay. The overlay extends essentially from the high water mark, 25 feet, to a little further than the base of the rear steps of the deck.
I think
So
it's not in the WPOD, it's in an AO and a velocity zone,
yeah. Yep.
different. Do you meet the requirements? Is the house more than 3 feet off the ground as it exists?
The first floor elevation of the first floor of the house,
17.6,
yeah.
And you have a basement.
so you don't quite meet it, you're not
Doesn't, in
lowest
this particular
structural
case,
number.
just let me, can I speak?
Oh, please.
I
please do.
understand, they're not increasing 50%, so they don't have to meet it, but
Right.
it's gonna get hit by some waves.
It could happen.
Okay,
Yep.
In everything I analyzed, it wasn't deemed that it was a substantial improvement.
They're just going up.
That's it.
Just
Yep.
going up. Yeah.
and they're not going up 3 stories, are they?
No, they're not.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, I think the finished height is gonna be 24.4 feet, and the design review committee did request that to be added to the plans, and we did upload that. So, well under, obviously, the 30-foot threshold.
I don't see the easement that the town has for the seawall in the front, the work on the seawall, isn't there an easement along the seawall? I don't see it on the site plan.
So there was you're saying, and I think I recall this, a few years back, the town was asking residents to grant an easement
If they want a new seawall.
if they
yeah.
want a new seawall, yeah. The seawall is shown,
Not that it's relevant to this case, but
the easement's not shown. I don't think it has any impact whatsoever
I
on,
agree.
yeah,
But I can still ask a question.
yep.
Somebody else's problem.
So that's,
Design review board was okay with this, though? I don't remember their comments.
Yes, they asked.
They said it was
They asked to
compatible.
put the 24 feet
Yeah.
onto the plan.
Okay?
Yeah, so they were.
So they just, yeah, the only thing they asked was to put the elevations on, and they were able to get that plan to me today, which is on the wall. That's
Right.
the only
Okay.
difference with the architectural plans.
There's only one comment I have about this project that I just want to state for the record. It's something I would do on a building permit application, is that They just have to comply with the fire resistance rating of the new structure because it's less than 5 feet from the property line. So we talked about that. I just want to make sure you guys know that. Okay,
Yeah, and that's an added benefit to the neighborhood, right there.
right. It has nothing to do with the application. Something I would see later. I just want to
Do
bring
they-
it up so you're not surprised.
What are the options, Jim,
The options?
with
Hardy?
something that looks like that? Hardy?
Well, it's kind of tricky
Hardy
because
does vertical.
it's got to be 1 hour rated from the inside and the outside.
What's Hardy?
It's an assembly that they have to show me. You
Okay.
can't specifically name one particular product because it's a UL listed assembly that has to determine what that has been tested at.
Would Hardy board be part of it?
Hardy board could be part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, Dent Shield is another product that could be applied underneath the siding, and actually wood siding could go over it.
So it's
You
not
can
a,
talk to me about it if you don't know. Talk to your architect about,
No, I'm familiar with it, Jim. I know that it's gonna require probably an additional 11 5/8 rock inside,
yeah,
and some exterior, addition.
right.
Yeah, no, I'm,
And those are details that we'll just look for on the plan.
sure.
I just like to bring it up because we had one scenario where, you know, I brought it up before and it wasn't mentioned, and then they were building a house and it was all sided and everything, and they never did it. So they had to go back and remove all that and
Oh,
do it, and it was very expensive. So I like to just mention it so
No,
everyone's
yeah, I'm definitely aware of it.
not surprised.
I think it's a pretty straightforward application, but I'm gonna make one more irrelevant comment to this application. But one of these days, the Marshfield Sewer Plant's gonna tell us whether or not we've overloaded their system or not.
I was thinking,
Right.
We should be sending them, hey, what do you think
I
about
think it
another?
goes
I
through,
called,
Oh, and they didn't have a problem with it?
not at all. In fact, he advised me that, if, something came across his desk, he was ready to sign it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's good to know, because we've always wondered that with every project we approve out there, if we're gonna overload the system or not.
Even, recommendation that they need,
Because we have tripled, quadrupled the size of
I
a
know.
lot of these homes.
yeah.
Keep it coming, I
I
guess.
do think that Mark
More
Flower, our
ratepayers,
water
better.
superintendent, does have something
No,
to
it's
do with
their sewer treatment plant, so it'd be up to them.
Yes,
I
I
would
know.
think someday they ought to weigh in on them. At least so they,
And their water as well, right? You get the water from?
correct.
There's a giant water meter that keeps track of it there, I guess.
Boris, did you have any questions?
Sorry, no, not right now, no.
Okay,
Time's up.
all right. Well, if there's nothing additional,
I'll make a motion to close the hearing if you like.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Freeman.
I bore it.
All right. All right, so, I think it's a nice plan.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Not a lot to think about.
No, I do worry about the height, of it possibly being impacted by water, but, you know,
Jim on that, I guess.
Well, they meet the definition, so they're all good. And
Yeah.
They know where they're building, buying, and whatever, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's their
there a
decision
long
as to
time.
whether or not they want to put more money in harm's way, but
Right,
not up to us.
so.
right.
All right, well, if there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to accept the application as proposed.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye, Tanya?
Aye.
Aye, Freeman.
All right,
Great, good luck.
we're good.
thank you so much.
Congratulations.
You.
Yeah.
You know, on the question of the other application, like the additional information that you would request,
Mm.
I was thinking about the town of Cohasset. Their zoning board now requires that the applicant provide the existing, not just the percentage of the square footage of the facade of the building that's in the non-conforming setback versus proposed, but also the volume.
Yeah, I asked the
We
question.
generally get volume.
I asked the question, how the volume changed, and they didn't revise the calculations, but we got the original volume on the original application.
Yeah,
Yep, that's important.
definitely.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
everybody.
Denying
Oh,
you.
wait, does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, right.
Oh, no,
Second.
I want to spend another hour and a half here.
Oh, my gosh.
All those in favor of going home?
Aye.
Hi, Boris.
Thank you, Boris.